Welcome to 3 Minutes on Markets and Money. I'm your host, Lance Roberts, with an update from the last 2 days of sell-off in the markets. Well, is it finally over? That's the question, right? 2 brutal days, almost 2,000 points, and investors are starting to wonder, is it over, and are we finally in a position to get a rally here? The answer is probably yes. We're likely going to see the markets open up a little bit stronger today, and one of the big issues is really the break of this 50-day moving average in particular, which now sets up the 200-day moving average as really potentially one of the next targets for the markets to work their way to. But importantly, I don't think that happens right away. There's a lot of hope here. We're going to get a rally, that we're going to get some improvement in the coronavirus. And of course, now the expectations are the Fed will cut 3 times this year, and hopes for more quantitative easing, of course, from the Fed. That's kind of giving investors hope we're going to get a rally here. Investors kind of wanting to front run any type of activity like that. But I want to draw your attention to what's been setting up in the markets and kind of what we expect to happen next. We formed this left shoulder of the market back in January, sold off to the 50-day moving average, rallied to new highs. That set up the head of this particular topping pattern. This break yesterday now sets the market up for a rally, and a rally back towards that previous high in January would technically set up the right shoulder of a topping pattern here. Then the risk becomes a sell-off as the impact of the coronavirus becomes much more known, potentially below the 200-day moving average, and sets up a bigger correction into the summer. And the reason I bring this up is because that the impact of the coronavirus is not about sick people. This is one of the things that people have been talking about as well. It's just like the flu. Yes, it is like the flu, except people die from it. But the other point is it's the impact of the global supply chain. China, Japan, South Korea, major import-export hubs to the U.S., and the fact that we've got a rising dollar at the same time is all going to impact export growth from the U.S. Now, exports make up about 40% of corporate profit, so this is not a small deal. And as we have been discussing, we are very likely going to see a down revision to earnings estimates and economic growth over the next couple of quarters, and this sets up for disappointment and a repricing of risk in stocks over the course of the summer. So the real risk here is not the immediate outcome of coronavirus. Even if they found a vaccine today and cured the coronavirus, the impact to the global supply chain is going to be felt now for months into the future. Again, this doesn't mean the world's about to end, we're about to have a major bear market, but there is a very real possibility that moving into the summer, as the impact from the virus and the supply chain shutdown is felt, we're going to see a downward revision to earnings estimates as well as growth estimates, putting more pressure on particularly the growth markets of the economy. If the virus shows up in the U.S. and creates a more of a pandemic style issue in the U.S., this becomes a much more likely probability, and a deeper decline is certainly in the offing. So pay attention to your money, pay attention to risk. I do think that we get a rally here over the next couple of days. That rally should be used to raise cash, right? Reduce risk. If you didn't like the sell-off over the last couple of days, this isn't necessarily the buying opportunity you've been waiting for. This is likely an opportunity to reduce risk, rebalance the risk in your portfolios, get into a position to where you can control the outcome of your portfolio over the course of the next several months, if not the rest of the year. It is very likely this peak of the market might be the peak of the market all year long. That's 3 Minutes on Markets and Money. I'm your host, Lance Roberts. Get by the website, realinvestmentadvice.com. Get our latest blog posts, reports, and more at the website, along with our latest videos, commentary. It's all there for you. realinvestmentadvice.com.